Welcome to episode 2 of Single Be Hard, where we talk about being single and everything that comes into it because it is a struggle in these
Out here in
streets.
these streets.
And Lord, put me on the sidewalk. So I am Monique,
I am
and
Dr. Noel.
the purpose of this podcast is
Yes, so the purpose of this podcast is number one, we want to build a community of single men and women, both women and men, to discuss common challenges around singleness. So this podcast isn't just for women. We want it to be a community of both men and
both.
women
We want to
because
hear both perspectives.
yes, because we want to hear both perspectives. We know that there are some commonalities amongst women and men, but also there are some differences. So that's when we have the funny stories, the humor, but also that's when we learn. So we want to definitely build that community. And like I said, we want to share those stories and experiences. And also, more importantly, we want to encourage and empower each other too in the process, because that's how we truly grow, is in community. So that is the whole purpose of this podcast. We are hoping just to learn from one another and learn from you all as well, as we share our experiences and build our community. Speaking of community, we've been doing that on social media. We've been doing that a lot for the past couple of weeks, right, Monique?
Yes, we have a whole Facebook members only group. And you have to be accepted in. It's Single Be Hard podcast on Facebook. Now there's two pages. One is a public page where we kind of just share different things for the public, and then we have our membership group where you get approved to get in, and that's where it goes down. We have lots of talking, lots of communication, many just putting. We ask questions daily. Other people ask questions, and that's how we just want a community of different perspectives on questions, certain questions. Recently asked, is a woman expecting a man to pay on every date? So we had some comments on that post or whatever. So if you would like to join, please join our community. It's Single Be Hard podcast. There's one where you can just follow, and there's another page where you have to ask to get in. And so when I tell you it goes down, it goes down. So look us up on those two platforms, and you can join our little pod of singleness. Next, we're going to talk about our main topic.
Yes.
Miss Dr. Noel had an assignment last week. If you guys listened to the last podcast, she had to go on a whole different she's a true educator. She got notes and stuff like that.
That's right.
She had to go on a whole different dating site because we were talking about Tinder, Bumble, all this stuff. So she had to go on Black Gentry and set up her profile. She was supposed to do a video on TikTok, but we got to get her.
Yeah, baby steps. I'm like a little toddler. Like I'm learning to crawl, and then I'm gonna walk. And yeah,
we gonna get it. So, ma'am, tell us about this dating.
Okay, so at this moment, the last time we had this podcast was that I was gonna get on Black. I don't even know the right way to say it. Black Gentry. For the sake, I'm just gonna say Gentry. I'm just gonna say that. So I was kind of nervous because I had taken like almost 6 months off, like a 6-month sabbatical off of dating apps. Why? Because it's a lot. It's almost like a part-time job. So I wanted to at times it could be a lot because you have to, go through it. You got to start conversations. It's a lot. And so I wanted to go ahead and do a sabbatical. So I stopped, going on the apps at the end of last year. I was like, I need to take a break. So this was really a good start to getting back on these dating apps and to see what's out there. Had anything changed? So when we were talking about Black Gentry, I was like, okay, well, that sounds like a good little experience. So at first I tried the non-paid version, which basically you only get like the basic features. Like you can't, like if you scroll, so it's the normal scrolling, just like Tinder. But let's say you were in your habit of scrolling and there was like a cute guy and you didn't mean to scroll, the basic feature, you can't go back. So I definitely wanted to do that. And then if somebody liked you, you can't see who liked you. So, that's not just a Black Gentry thing. That's I
all
believe
around.
other
Yeah.
apps have that as well. So I got on Black Gentry, and most of the guys on there are Black, and so it's been an interesting experience to say the least. So I found myself in the same experience or a similar experience as being on Facebook dating, being on Match. I mean, it's been interesting because you see the good and bad, and there's a good and bad of every app. But I've had some okay experiences with some guys, and I've had some this ain't this we no. There's a lot of, I adjusted the age bracket. So, at first it was from 27 to 30. No, it was 27 to about 40. And then I kind of adjusted it to be
We got to move
30
that on up
to 45. And then I currently just adjusted it to 34 to, 44. Because I at first I was like, I'm gonna be open, and then you start conversing with guys that are in their 20s, and you're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
we're not conversing.
Yeah. So through this, I've been on since June 10th, and it is June 28th. So I've been on for about 18 days, a little bit over 2 weeks. I have gone on a date. We'll call him Ben. I've gone on a date with a guy named Ben, and it was interesting. I'll say that we had a good conversation. Now, what I do appreciate is that we talked a little bit within the chat, and then he was like, "Okay, so you want to go out to eat?" And I said, "See, I like somebody like that who
right off the bat, yes."
We're not going to be talking on the dating app for 40 days and 40 nights. Let's go ahead and move this. Let's move this forward. So we met at a Mexican restaurant, and within about 8 seconds of me seeing him, I was just like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna work. And so because of that, I was kind of like, I was more myself because I wasn't nervous because I already knew it wasn't gonna work. Like I knew we were gonna continue on with it. We ended up having a good conversation. He's like in his late 20s, although he's like a minister, and he was a little bit more, I want to say, for lack of a better word, a little bit more flamboyant than I like. So I think we kind of just, and I probably, I'm probably not his type. So we both work in the school system, which I thought was interesting. But anywho, it was interesting. It was a good little experience. So I will say that. But I will say that as I'm going through this, and upon my reflection on being on previous dating apps, I think that I wanted to talk and share some dating app etiquette for men as well as women. But so the first thing, and before I do that, I'll say this. This is going to enhance men. Please take these things and reflect upon your current experience, and then think about these suggestions for your dating app etiquette so that you can enhance your experience.
You might get something better than what you're getting.
You might get something better than what you're getting. So the first one is, men, please post some quality and current pictures. Okay. Now, if you're gonna upload a picture, make sure that your camera's clean. I don't know how many pictures I've seen that's fuzzy or that's been taken from a flip phone. So guys, please make sure that your cameras are clean. And then
Also, don't post with you and your friends.
please.
And I don't even like, and I'm not trying to like, this is just me, and maybe, somebody else might. I don't like it when men or even anybody post their kids on dating apps. Like, why would you post a picture of your kid? I don't know if you're thinking that's going to be like, oh, he got kids. To me, I'm like, I don't want to see your kids right now. I just want to see you.
Right.
So that's another thing. Current pictures,
Yes.
not you
Current
with
pictures.
friends.
Please, if you have gained some weight, show a picture of you gaining said weight. Like, don't post a picture of you in 1992 and it
Cut
is
body.
right with your 6 abs and you got one hanging on
Oh,
with your
right,
life
right.
in 2023. Like, we need current pictures, please.
There was a article I read that you should do at least 2 pictures like this. Like, your profile picture should be, and then you should have a full body picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe 2 full body pictures, and then you should have a picture of like something you like doing. So like if you like to travel, then it should be something of you traveling.
Yes.
If you like, something. So it's like 2, 2, and 2. So at least 6 pictures to give an overall, this is me.
Right. A balance. If you look on my profile, I have the first picture that I have is a full length picture. We know that guys are very visual, but also women are visual as well. I need especially me. I am visual, so I need
especially on a dating app, because that's
Exactly.
what we're looking at. I mean, we're not approaching you and like we can't see, hear you talk, your mannerisms, we going off of what you posting online.
Right.
But if I'm a woman and I don't like, I mean, if you want a quality woman, you ain't gonna post like money and grills and guns and we don't know. No.
Monique, you'd be surprised, man. Well, and I say that you've seen them. I mean, it is. We got
exactly.
This. Like, are you 60? What is going on? So, and also, right. Another thing is, do some studying on like stances that you can do with because we are not in middle school anymore. Like no more middle school poses. Smile, just a simple smile. We want to see those great smiles. I mean, it really doesn't have to be hard. We just want to see your whole body, and we want to see a great smile and a quality picture. And you can take a quality picture on iPhone, or I mean, if you have an Android.
Too. Well, and not we just going off on the pictures. I hate the pictures with your shirt off and you're in like the bathroom. Like, I just feel like you should do that. Like, if you like the gym, that should be a gym picture, like, showing us that this is, but not in the bathroom. And you think that's like a thirst trap. Right. I don't even care. You could be fine as I don't know what. If that's your picture, bye.
Scroll.
You already letting me know. You fine. You got a body. You a red flag. I'm about to go on a roller coaster with you. Mm-hmm. So I ain't even gonna go there. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next.
Right. And the other thing is, so the second thing is be engaged and be engaging. So I say those two of, if we start a conversation, be engaged in the conversation. Because there have been several times where I have, a guy has reached out and we've started to talk, and then I don't see a response until 3 days later. Like, if you're going to be on the app, be on the app, so be engaged in the conversation. If you start a conversation, you keep that same energy. Like, come on, let's talk.
I gotta put my head down because I'll be the one who I'll be the one who
Listen,
takes 3 days to come back.
listen.
Because you know what? I understand. I don't like notifications on my phone. So I turn all of it off. So sometimes I literally be on it and I'll forget, like, oh, I'm talking to somebody. So it
Right.
might take me a few, and especially if they took a minute to respond, I'm gonna do something else. And
Mhm.
then I'll go on maybe the next night and be like, oh, but if it's somebody who I'm like, you know what, we were having a good conversation, I'll be like, do you want to exchange numbers? You want to take this off like that? But
Which takes me to my next point of being engaging. So if it's an engaging conversation, I'm much more willing to look for your responses because I'm engaged in the conversation. Now let me say this. I ain't been perfect either. So if that person reaches out and says, "Hey, I want to talk to you," and we start a conversation, and the guy is very slow at responding, I'm not going to be like on the app, wait for you to respond. Like, you slow, I'm going to be slow. So, but my thing is, if you start a conversation with somebody, and again, this is for men and women, if you start a conversation with somebody, don't start and then get ghosts.
and
Like,
then go.
come on.
And the next morning be like, good morning. Like, no, person.
Right, person.
As you already know what word I wanted to say.
So that kind of goes with be consistent too, because be consistent with the conversation, because after a while, if the conversation ain't going nowhere, I'm just gonna unmatch and we're gonna move on. So make sure
I want to add read the bios, because I literally have learned to put things in my bio purposely to see if guys read it. Like one time I was on, I forgot what app, and I literally would put, I'll have my whole bio. I'm here for this, this, and this, and this. And at the end, I'll put, when you message me, ask me my favorite color. So then when people message me and they ask me the favorite color, I'm like, oh, you actually read my bio. You took time to, you wasn't just looking at the pictures. And if they wasn't, then I'm like, nah, you didn't even read my bio. And that's how I knew really what you on here for, because men who really are trying to get to know, they're going to read the bio because they want to know what you're about. If you just look at, oh, she fine, yeah, we match.
Right. Yeah. That's a good idea, actually.
Girl,
that's a good idea. I might do that.
I did that, or I'll put my last on Facebook dating, it was just like, get me out the house. And it's so simple, right? But nope.
It's so simple.
I had one dude. He read it because he literally was just like, so what do you want to do? Do you pay pool? And I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm like, it was a one simple, but you read it. And at that time I was really about like, get me out the house or whatever. We get to know each other like that. So for him, it was just like, what do you want to do? We can go play pool. Where you live? Right. It was a whole different story after the meetup or whatever. But I mean, he started off great. So read the bios, because that's going to get you some cool points, especially if you respond in your message. And this is women and men. Respond in when you go to message them, respond with something in their bio to let them know you read it. Even if they don't have that question. Like, if they're like, I'm a homebody, you could be like, oh, so you're a homebody. What else do you like to do other than being at home? Right. I would be like, this person read my bio. Okay.
That's engaging. That's engaging. That's attractive. You actually took time to read.
You're not just looking at the pictures, because if you're looking at the pictures, I'm thinking you just want what with the pictures. So that's one thing. Go ahead.
So the other thing is, guys and girls, but guys, please don't be out here lying. Like, just don't be lying for lying's sake. You know how some people just be lying. Just don't be. Now, luckily, see, now when your discernment is high and you see you making stuff up. Don't be out here lying. Now, I haven't had a lot of experience with that, but I'm sure there are plenty of singles out there who have interacted with the opposite sex and they're just out here lying. So please don't be out here lying.
I'm not
Also,
raising my hand, but
like
I'm
if, like
I'm
if
not
you
raising my
like if you're trying to act single but you really married, but you be on these apps now, we know it's out.
And
We
then
know.
also put your intentions. I know, you think every woman they have long-term show. I take that serious. If I'm
Right.
looking for a long-term, I'm gonna put long-term. If I'm gonna, casual, I take them serious. And then the guys who put long-term because that's what they think women are gonna attract to you. And then you come out and you just don't want nothing. You just want to put us on an emotional roller coaster. No, there's some
No.
women who will be on them apps just for what you want. And if you see that, go for them. Don't be going for the ones where we literally
Please,
said long-term situation. Don't
please.
if you ain't long-term, don't click on me.
Goodbye.
Don't. And don't put it on yours.
Leave me be. Leave me
Be,
be.
you will have more. And I always tell people when you tell women the truth, they will more likely respect you because you're telling them the truth.
Yes.
If you literally just say, listen, I don't want no long term, I literally just want to have fun, go out, get some drink. Even if I'm looking for a long term and I ain't got nobody right now, you know what? Let's hang out for a minute until
Exactly.
you might get what you want when you tell. Now when you start lying, then I'm gonna be like, nigga, you
Right.
not allowed to say that. It's our show. You be lying. Nigga, you lie. I'm up here trying to do this and you over here. Then we 3 months in and we look. Nah.
We appreciate it so much because
I respect.
because it's almost like when I go on your profile and you say like your preferences for having kids. Now I don't have kids, but if you on your wall you're like I have kids and I don't want no more kids. I respect that, so I can move on because you don't want kids. I want kids, so I'm not gonna waste my time. So it's almost like that. Just be upfront with your intentions. So if it doesn't align with my intention, I can just move on.
And it's not a waste of time.
And it's not a waste of time.
Because if a nigga say they want more kids, I'm this factory is closed. Ain't nothing else coming out. So I wouldn't come to you. Like, no, I can't. We wouldn't work.
Right.
But if you lie, don't lie.
Because it's eventually gonna come out. I mean,
you lie, you cheat, you steal.
That's right. That's what the old folk and the ancestors told us.
For real, the ancestors.
Okay, and the last one, most importantly, just don't be weird. Okay,
oh my
guys, please just don't be weird. I mean, the things that guys will start out saying to start talking to you. I mean, there's two sides that I've seen. The first side is when guys give this whole 4-page letter on their bios of what they want in a woman, and if you doing this, don't even reach out to me. And I like my woman, but okay, guys, don't be weird, please. Don't be weird. And then the other side of that is don't start a conversation with me and just say weird stuff. Okay, which takes us to our next segment. So that is some suggestions for the dating etiquette. So now
dating app etiquette from Single Be Hard.
Yes. So now we're gonna switch over to our next segment, which is the audacity segment, and it kind of goes along with "Don't Be Weird." So again, we're still talking about Black Gentry, this Black dating site. So I opened my app one day, and this random guy says, "Can I sniff your butt?" I'm sorry, what?
Did it work one time? It had to work one time, Noel. He had to say that to a female and it worked.
I was like, what?
Because if it didn't work, why would you keep using it?
What in your mind?
One time, he met a weird female who was like, yes, come do it.
Listen.
And so now he's like, this is my game. This is how I get in.
You are a wild individual. You are a wild individual.
That's his fetish. That's his kink. You were supposed to be like, oh yes, daddy, come on.
You are you're something is not right. Seriously. If you don't even say hello, beautiful, good afternoon. You don't even develop a relationship. You just come out the break with that. Boy, I tell you, some of y'all are wild. Do you hear me? I was like, yeah, sure. You know what? Sure, you can come on over, especially right after I use the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't say that because he might like it.
Right. All I didn't even respond. All I did was block. The audacity of somebody to do that just off the cuff. And
that's how he came in on it.
I was like, this gotta be spam, but would spam just do that? I don't know. Anyway, guys, don't be weird, and also don't have audacity and unmitigated gall to do that and send somebody that on a dating website.
Oh my God. Monique, my audacity moment is not as bad. I'm not on the app right now. That's why we're giving Dr. Noelle her space because she's the one on the dating app. I'm actually currently talking to somebody. And so a lot of my stories are gonna be like previously and like my recent little boo. Yeah. You guys had a glimpse of him on my TikTok, just his shoe. Y'all didn't get the face yet. But my audacity is a previous guy. We wasn't even in, it was a situational ship. And so he hit me up one day. He was just like, I guess he was craving spaghetti. Okay. And he was like, and this is like, we wasn't together, but we was just in we was in a stage. I don't know. It was weird. Anyways, he's like, can I make him spaghetti? First of all, I just don't cook for anybody. My mom said you only cook for your husband. He's not my husband, so I don't cook for nobody. You don't just request me to do things. So I was like, no. And he was like, do you even know how to cook spaghetti? Who doesn't? It's just like regular spaghetti is like 3-4 ingredients. So anyways, I was like, yeah, actually I cook. I have like this special spaghetti. It's called $1 million spaghetti. It's not really special, but it's special. You can look it up. Anyways, it has a bunch of cheeses and stuff like that, and you bake it in their crock pot all day, and it's just very delicious. It's very delicious. So anyways, I'm like telling him like, I cook $1 million spaghetti, blah, 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 blah. Start telling the recipe or whatever. So he was like, you gonna cook it? I was like, no, I ain't cooking it. Like, I gave you the recipe. You can go do it yourself. So later on that night, he's going to text me like, hey, his little, I'm gonna be nice girl that he was talking to, because I would call her something else. His little girl that he was talking to at the time, I guess he went to her and asked her if she ever made $1 million spaghetti. She said no. So he's like, hey, can you send us the recipe for your $1 million spaghetti? Oh, girl's gonna make it for me, but we don't know that one cheese that you use. We couldn't find that. So can you send that to me?
I'm sorry, what?
My face literally is a text. I'm looking like,
so
you want me? Oh, here. Yeah, tell old girl here. I literally said, this is my favorite line for now. This is like my 2023 line. When I really want to go off and I don't go off, I'll just be like, no, you good. Literally, that was it. No, you good.
Get somebody else to do it.
For real. No, you good. Y'all good. For real. That's what. Yeah, y'all good. Now get off. Stop playing on my phone.
Get somebody else to do it. Won't be me. Thank you.
Like, where did you get the go? Who's and you text that and thought I was gonna be like, yeah, there for you and your little girl, your little wannabe Instagram model. Yeah, okay.
What type of relationship do we have to where
Not
you
that one.
call me so I can give you something to cook for you and your other person that you're
He
talking
was
to?
gonna cook it. Not she was gonna cook it.
Oh, she was gonna, but
She was.
even then, I'm giving her. Why is there? There are three people in this situation.
That's why people.
When
Some female somewhere, he done asked that or some similar, and she said, "Yeah." I think because I don't understand what in your head said. I'm going to ask this question, and Monique's going to say yes and give me it and be okay with it.
Interesting.
In your head, your false reality, sir.
Some of these, well, I tell you, some of these guys, wow, the
Y'all,
audacity.
listen, I don't understand people, but
Guys,
yeah,
do better. We're gonna have to do better.
yes.
We're gonna have to do better.
So we gonna go into because also he's a liar. He's one of the lion men's out there in the pool. He's a liar fish. So we're going to go into this book that we've been talking about. Sis, no, he lying sis.
Mm-hmm.
Now this book, yes, it's catered to women, but I feel like men will be able to read it and appreciate the honesty of the author.
Yes.
Because literally, when I'm listening to this book, during what I was going through, it was just like this book was like beating me up. Like, girl, girl. It literally went through my timeline of my relationship with this guy that I was dealing with at the time. Like, from this point, I mean, some didn't like go with him, but from the first chapter, which is they don't want no girlfriend, but they act like we together. Right. When you ask the question of, yo, we've been dating for a long time, what are we? And they be like, man, we ain't got no title. We don't need no titles. What's understood don't need to be explained. We go with the flow.
Yeah. And guys,
that is F-boy mentality.
Boy mentality. And we want all of you to make sure you get this book so you can read along with us and also share your thoughts as well. So it's by Stefan Labossiere. At least Stefan, if we're saying your book wrong, we apologize. But it's called Alliances, and it's funny because some of the chapters spoke to me while some of the chapters spoke to Monique. So it's just very interesting to see the how it connected. It was so accurate. It was so accurate.
That, like when I said that chapter 1, listen, that is a red flag. If they don't want to commit and they don't want to have a title, that is a red flag. Because what's wrong with the title?
Right.
What's the difference? Oh, because you're actually going to have to claim somebody. So when somebody else comes along, and then he described, like, if he's not claiming you, but he's acting like your boyfriend, you're just a placeholder. I'm putting you here, and we're going to do all the activities that encounter our relationship. But when a real person that I really want come along, we wasn't together.
Right.
We wasn't in a relationship. We was just kicking it. So I'm gonna go with her now. Don't be a placeholder.
What was your favorite part of, because it seems as though chapter 1 spoke to both of us. So what was your favorite part of chapter 1?
That part, no. Well, with chapter 1, I don't believe in if a guy says that to me, that automatically in my head is like, okay, we ain't together. I'm not your girlfriend. We can do all the hanging out with, but guess what? I'm gonna go hang out with somebody else too. I believe in single until committed. So if you're not going to commit to me, I'm gonna go on dates, hang out with this person, and we can hang out with you. Right. Because guess what? We ain't together. So with that happening during the time that I was reading it, literally that I was with not with somebody, we was going with the flow, and I
Right.
was still dating other men because I'm like, I'm not going to commit to you, or I'm not going to put all my eggs into you when you don't want what I want. So I'm going to go find somebody. You can be my placeholder, I be your placeholder, we place holding while I go find who I need to go find. So that one, I just like it. Just reconfirmed, like you don't put yourself as a placeholder.
Yeah. I liked when he said, until a man gives you security, you will always remain unsettled. Like,
Ooh,
like
write that
he
down.
he basically
Put
was
that in
like,
the.
put that in the comment. Until a man gives you security, if he's not secure, like if he doesn't make you feel secure in what y'all got going on, you're gonna always remain unsettled, confused, and we don't operate in confusion. So that's one of the things that stood out to me.
You
Like,
know what because you said the word secure, and the opposite of secure is insecure, and we
mhm,
use insecure as a negative thing. You're insecure. You're insecure. I was like, a guy was telling me like, you're so insecure, but I was in my head, I'm like, I'm not insecure about myself because I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm worth.
right,
So I had to look up what insecure means, and it literally is what you said. You can be insecure about somebody, meaning I am. It doesn't go black. Sorry, I thought my stuff went black. I'm gonna edit that. So, anyways, you could be insecure with somebody, as in unsafe, unsettled. You're not sure,
right,
unsure with him. I could be insecure with you because you're not giving me the security I need. It does not mean I'm insecure with myself. I'm insecure about our relationship. I'm insecure about you as a person. I
exactly,
don't trust that you are going to keep me safe. I can go to somebody else and feel secure with them and be okay. So insecurity is not necessarily a personal inside thing. It's
mhm,
actually how you feel in your situation that you are in. So if
yeah,
somebody calls you insecure, flip that, reverse it, and be like, yes, I'm insecure about you. I'm insecure about what you're putting me through. I don't feel safe around you. I don't feel secure around you. It's
yeah.
not necessarily an inner working thing.
And if
So
you feel insecure about somebody else and you articulated this and nothing changes, it's time to be out.
yeah. Why would you want to be in an unsafe, unsettling, unsure situation?
Yeah.
If
And
you ain't sure about it, then it ain't working.
right. And I'll say this too, the older I get, the more I just don't have time for, all this foolishness. What are we doing? If I don't feel secure in what we're doing or where we're headed,
Ain't no
goodbye.
reason.
I wish you well. I wish you well. Because he also said toward the end of chapter 1, he said the real security is marriage.
Mm,
I mean, if we want to sit there and talk about it, the real security is marriage. Now,
mm.
he also said that, marriage isn't for some people, but the end all be all is that somebody tell some, men, or if you're listening, and you've articulated this to a woman and she, you're waiting to hear a response back from her. You are sure in where you guys are headed. You are secure. You're confident in where you guys are moving. So that's one of the things that really stood out to me
Mm.
um, from chapter 1. And this is just chapter 1.
I
We're
know. Listen,
in chapter 1 through 5.
we were supposed to. I don't think we're gonna make it. I do some gems in chapter. We can move on to chapter 2.
Okay.
But everybody says is okay. So chapter 2 is too busy for a relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
that is an excuse a lot of people use. And actually, I was having this conversation with my friend, and we was watching this TikTok, and the girl was basically saying like she's too busy for a relationship, so she'd rather just be. I think she was a side chick, but she didn't
Mm-hmm.
really say that. But she'd rather just be in a relationship where the guy pays her bills and they meet at night, they do what they do, but they're not in a relationship because she said I'd
Yeah.
rather be with my daughter and stuff.
Yeah.
I personally, if I don't want nothing from you and I'm not interested in you, I use that as an excuse. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, my kids. I can't. No, good and well. If I want to be with you, oh, I'm gonna make some time. I'm gonna cut some time out of my day,
And
but
that's it right there.
I will be the one who uses that as an excuse. So basically, he's saying if you are with somebody and they're saying, "Oh, I don't have time for a relationship," you're not a priority in their life enough to where they're going to make the time. So
Plain
take that
and
as
simple.
okay. Huh?
Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Because if you really want something, you're gonna make time. If you enjoy being with somebody, we all know when somebody texts, oh, let me text them back. If it's somebody, you be like, oh, I'll get back to them. So if somebody acts like, and I'm giving y'all heads up, if y'all ever meet me, guys, and y'all date me, and I say, oh, I'm too busy, I got my kids, just leave me alone.
Yeah,
Just
just
leave me alone.
go on about your
Know
way.
about your business, because that means I'm not interested, or I'm just because I will make time for people I want to make time for, and that's just anybody.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
going on, when moving chapter 3. Chapter 3 is that tore me down, man,
Oh,
because I went through this and it was so confusing. So
well,
basically, it's if he says he loves you but he doesn't show it.
oh,
The main thing that hit me
oh,
is when a guy says they love you and they don't want you to go. Oh no, that's chapter 4. So no, this is I'm going into chapter 4. So if he says he loves you, love is showing. We always say love is action. I can
right,
say I
right,
love you. You're not gonna feel it because it's not you're feeling it is like you feel it. Just think of
right.
it tangible.
Yeah,
So if somebody's not showing you they love you and you don't feel it, then they don't love you.
right,
You know, they might love you, but they're not loving you in the way that they should love you.
right.
And you shouldn't have to beg, because at the end of the day, if somebody loves you, they want to see you happy. They want to see making you happy makes them happy. So why wouldn't I show you I love you and make you happy? Because I want to be happy.
Check the fruit. Check the fruit. It's all in the
That's listen. So now, chapter 4 beat me up.
took you down.
God,
Need you.
chapter 4, he won't let you go. Wait, I gotta go back because I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, because he doesn't want you to go, like he won't let you to go, it doesn't mean he loves you. So a lot of people use that as like, oh, he doesn't want me to leave him. He doesn't want me to move on. That obviously means he loves you. Every time you even think about going, he's like, no, pulling you back. And he might even say, but I love you, I don't want to see you. This made me realize, because a lot of females, or we do that, like, well, they must love me because they don't want me to move on. They must love me because they keep wanting me to be in their lives.
No,
I
sis.
literally had a guy tell me, like,
No, bro.
I love you so much, I just need you in my life in some type of way. And he did not want me to move on. He rather me just sit at home and wait for him while he go do his thing. But it was off some like, I love you so much. No,
There's,
no.
yeah, there's a little bit of manipulation and a little bit of narcissism there
Oh,
sprinkled
not a
in.
little, a whole
A whole
dash.
a whole
Yeah. Because what he said is, okay, love doesn't harm.
right,
If you love somebody, you don't want to harm them. So
right,
if I love you to the point where me and you are together and it's harming us, it's a toxic relationship, I'm going to love you enough to let you go because I don't want to bring harm to you.
right.
Lust, he
Exactly.
said, lust harms. So lust will bring you and be like, no, I want you. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care if I dog you every day. As long as you're with me, that's all I care about. That's lust. Love will let you go because I don't want to harm you. This is toxic. We're not good for each other. So I'd rather us be apart and happy than together and miserable.
Yeah,
Now, lust is more of like, I don't care. We
yeah.
gonna be
It's
together.
right. Lust is more selfish, and then love is more selfless. So
Yes,
lust doesn't care
girl.
about your feelings. It wants what it wants, pretty
Yes,
much.
girl. So,
Now
yeah.
let's talk about this here chapter 5.
Now, girl. This
Let
is
me
her chapter.
let me get my mic ready.
Oh
So,
my.
chapter 5 was all about guys being separated, and well, you talking to guys who are separated. Instantly slapped me across the face. Why? Because I've been in this situation
Girl.
when I have talked to guys and found out that they were separated and still continue to talk to the guys. Now, sadly, I've been in this situation more than once. And Stefan was talking about this is a more common situation than you think. And I truly believe it, because I've, heard stories from some of my other friends talking with guys, talking to guys that were separated. Oh yeah, they're gonna get separated, and it takes them, 400 years to finally do it, or they don't get separated and they go back to being,
Mhm.
they go back and, or they just decide to just cut it off, and they decide to get divorced finally and just decide that they want to be single. So there's so many scenarios and dangerous scenarios that go with talking to somebody who is separated. What I love is that Stefan kept saying, um, they're still married. They're still married. And that man is still married. And to be
Mm.
honest, I needed this chapter back in 2017. Like,
Mhm.
I needed this chapter. I needed every word in this chapter in 2017. Stefan was saying if he's still separated, he's still married. And why would you want to people are going to stay in this position as long as you allow them to.
Mm.
So a guy's going to stay separated if there's no sense of urgency for him to get divorced. I mean, as long as he's, showing you attention and things of that nature, you might not press him about it. But at the end of the day, he's still married. So, and you might say to yourself, like, well, why do they continue to be in this situation? Why don't they move forward? Because they enjoy the companionship, which I enjoyed the companionship. This
Mhm.
other person, we'll call him Andre. Andre enjoyed the companionship, and he enjoyed he enjoyed that companionship, the benefits of a relationship without it actually being a relationship. It was a true situationship. And at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to be in a relationship, and he did not want to be in a relationship. He finally got divorced, and it was an on again, off again situation from like 2017 I mean, if we added up all the years, 2017 to 2021. Like, it was just an on again, off again of him being separated, then him finally getting a divorce, still messing around with his ex-wife. It was just, and really it should have been cut off from the time I found out he was separated. You married, I'm out. And so because of that, it's taken it's just taken a while to truly get him out of my system. So
Mm.
them soul ties real. You hear me? So
Woo!
when I read this chapter, I was just like,
Mhm.
Andrea, the girl, is me. Andrea is me, and I am Andrea.
Mhm.
So I truly learned a lot, and I know that I've grown because, and for some reason, I don't know what it is. Like, guys just want to talk to me if they are separated. I don't know. Now, this isn't every guy, but I've had
Boy.
multiple experiences.
Mhm.
Guys reach out to me about talking to me, about talking to me, and they're still separated. This guy that used to go to my parents' church reached out to me, and I know his ex-wife now is his ex-wife. So I reached out. He reached out to me, and I was like, "Aren't you married?" He was like, "Yeah, we're separated." Okay, well, come back to me.
When you're divorced.
Bye bye now. So then, that was the end of that conversation. 6 months later, he reached out to me trying to talk to me. And by then I was just like, I don't even want to talk to you. I mean, he was divorced, but it just it was a turn off that you wanted to talk to me when you were
When you're yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was, so that's real growth for me. It was real growth for me because back in the day I would have entertained it. So I say all that to say chapter 5 was truly, I love the chapter. I love what Stefan was sharing in that chapter. And, if you are talking or entertaining somebody that is separated, don't do it. Why?
Get that divorce.
Because they're still married.
But it is hard. But I'm learning being able to tell somebody, no, I don't want to talk to you, is actually empowering.
It is.
Because you just feel like you are putting a boundary up. And having that person even respect that boundary, you'd be like, okay. Yep. You know what I mean? And so you should be able to say that. You should do your preferences. And if your preferences, you are still married, I can't talk to you. When's your divorce? Okay, maybe in a year, whatever, we can come back around, circle it back around. And even if that, like you said, you was like, no, I'm good off you now. Like, you should, it's empowering because it's kind of like you're standing up for yourself. Like, no, I'm not that type of female. I don't want to deal with you. So that's what I'm going to say instead of like, oh, okay, let me try. No, it's almost like basically you standing up for yourself. You standing up for your principles. You standing up for your boundaries.
And that's what I was about to say. You're setting boundaries, and it reminds us women that we call the shots. You're not doing that over here. So go with God, Crispy. Go with God.
It's beyond me now. So the book, we got a few more chapters left. Again, it's called He Lying Sis.
He's lying, sis.
And it's good. It's really good. And like I said, I like this author because he does men and women. I think there's actually a chapter in there at the end for men. I gotta go back and look. But I got more of his books because it does a men and women version of everything. And he breaks it down, and it's not more of a lot of relationship books are like, women have to do this, women have to do this, we have to do that, you have to do this, put this on. But his is more like, let me break down men.
Yeah.
And you choose what you want. He doing this is what this means. Now you go and you decide what you want to do with that.
Yeah.
So, and when I tell you, like, this is the first time, and I've been reading relationship books since 2007.
Probably. That's the whole stat.
For real. Men are from Mars, women from Venus, The Purpose, all that. I've read all of them. But this is basically the first book I've ever read where what he's saying is actually happening. I literally can go chapter by chapter and think of a guy who said those exact same words, who did those exact same things. And it turned out exactly how he said it was going to turn out if you continued on. It turned out you kept going back.
Chapter 5 was my life.
When I say chapter 4, last month, probably 2 months ago, was my life. And guess what? We're going to call him Toxic. She got names Toxic. Keeps trying to creep his way back in. Mm-hmm. And I literally stand on my, nope, sorry. Find somebody else. Nope. It's hard. Like she said, them soul ties are real. But when you set them boundaries and you say no, it helps you. It makes you be able to do it more often.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we're going to go into At This Moment, our At This Moment segment. It gives us a brief synopsis of what's going on at this moment. ATM. What's going on? What's your ATM? Mine. And we said it don't have to be dating wise. So at this moment, I am, this is going to air on a Saturday. So basically that next day, I'm going to go to DC with a little boo friend. Me and him going to go to DC. It's like my first vacation without kids in like 3 years, I think. Probably even more than that. So I'm excited to explore DC and figure out. Of course, I'll be bringing TikToks and all that stuff to you guys. And if you're in the members only, you'll get maybe some other type of footage and questions and stuff like that might come up. Mm-hmm. Remember to join that. And then also,
Drum
I was
roll.
thinking. I was thinking about the other one. Like if I should say it. There might be a career transition coming up for me, which is big because I've been doing what I do is childcare. I've been doing it. My oldest son's about to be 20 years old. I was doing it since he was 10 months old.
Mm-hmm.
So basically almost 20 years of childcare. And I had this opportunity come up, and it had to be God, that I might be transitioning.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want if somebody that I don't want to scare people right now, just in case somebody watches this that I say, and I'm, it's a whole thing. But yes, so we're just gonna pray that my transition goes through. I've taken the steps to do it. So this is at this moment. Got my new boo friend and might be having a whole career change. And I'm going back to school to get my doctor's degree because I want to be a doctor just like Noel.
Yes.
I have 2 doctors.
That's what we do over here. Black women.
That'll be tight though. Dr. Monique and Dr. Noel. The doctors?
Listen, y'all not ready. Y'all not ready.
The doctors be in the streets.
The doctors be in the house, the doctors be in the streets. Okay, so for me, my at this moment is I am gonna continue to date. I'm gonna continue to just entertain a few options, entertain, the guys that I'm talking to, because that's what you do. When you're dating, I heard somebody say when you're dating, you're collecting data. So I'm collecting data on what these different guys. Okay, so tell me about I saw this TikTok of somebody says, "Are you like Barbara Walters?" This is me when I am talking to guys like, "Oh, so tell me about how you grew up. So what mistake did you make? Are you a loser?"
Not are you a loser?
I was like, "Are you a loser?" But I think that was in there for humor. But yeah. So this time it's just all about getting to know people. Talking to people, just seeing what's out there, getting back out there, and just just keeping it light. But also dating for a purpose. But at the same time, just dating and talking to multiple guys just to see who's serious out there.
That is that's good. Yes, date for a purpose, but the purpose is getting to know that person and seeing who is worth your time.
Exactly.
Don't date. I hate when people like, "Oh, I'm dating to get married," because then you get stuck on, this is a guy I want to marry, and this might be the guy who's not for you to marry. He might be something to learn something from. Then you get stuck on that because then you're thinking, I'm supposed to marry him, and then now you wasting your time.
Right.
So dating for a purpose is to collect data.
Yes. And then the other thing is also, I am looking to, so I've been in this season where I'm trying to find out what my hobbies are, what I'm good at. I've been in school for so long. I mean, when you finally finish school, you're kind of like, what do I like to do? What am I good at? What am I strong in? What are my strengths? So I'm just in the season of finding out what I want to do. And I'm really trying to find another job, find another career in addition to what I'm doing in the daytime, which is serving as a principal. So I want to I've been applying for like evening jobs at the technical community college, or potentially serving as a professor at A&T. I mean, I'm there. I'm over there anyway every year for homecoming. I feel like I'm an honorary Aggie, so I need to go ahead and just go ahead and make it
official.
Make it official. So I am applying for jobs and entertaining a few options. That is my at this moment.
Well, we wish us both luck on our transitions to this new career.
Yes,
because even being from a principal to a professor is a big jump.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna leave y'all with some words of encouragement in this dating streets, because it is a struggle. We know it's a struggle, and we always need that little bit of encouragement to help us not waste our time. We don't want to waste time. We too old.
We don't waste time.
We getting old. So,
you want to go? You want me to
go
go?
ahead.
Okay, so my encouragement to all of our fellow singles is words and action should align. If they talk it, they need to walk it. So make sure you are looking for those words and actions. They should align. We're talking about integrity. We're talking about, again, you seeing people's fruit. So look for the fruit and look for their actions behind what they're talking. Because in this last and evil day, people talking a lot, but do their words and actions align. So that's all I say. That is my encouragement to everyone, to look for words and actions.
Mine is don't turn red flags white. My auntie said it. My mama done said it. Do not turn them red flags white. Keep them red.
Keep
And
them
when
red.
they start adding up, get you a count. Mine is 4. I see 4 red flags. I got to go. Because once you see 5, 6, 7, 8, you go. That's the roller coaster.
Yep.
And I had to learn. I had to bump my head a few times, especially with my toxic.
Yep.
He done showed me a lot of stuff that I was like, okay, God, never again in my life.
Never again.
So don't turn them red flags white, and make sure you're looking for the green flags too. Don't just look for red flags. Look for them green flags.
Look for the green flags too. That's cool.
You can find us on Single Be Hard podcast.
Single Be Hard.
Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. Monique D, Monique something. I got letters behind my name. I don't even know. Find Noelle on her Facebook, Noelle.
Leslie, and Instagram, free and focused. Free and focused.
Mine is Give Me Some More One. And my TikTok is the same. So peace. Peace in them streets.
Thank you all. And we hope to see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks.